Welcome everyone. In this video, I'm gonna review six of my sewing machine, extension tables, and sewing tables. But before that, you're looking at pictures of different sewing machines that has one thing in common: solution. Solution to what? Sewing space. Sewing space has always been a problem. Needing a sewing space is a tricky one because for every different variation to a project, you're gonna need space to work with. That varies all the time and constantly. Now I have six of this because I happen to have them. I'm gonna give you my user input on some of these products. The first one is a cabinet. I think this is a koala. So this is really cool. You can pull this up or open it up, and also this area here is supposed to fit a variety of domestic sewing machines in many brands for as long as it will fit this section here. Now if you have an embroidery or a bigger module, you cannot use that, which means you can raise the level and use this whole thing as a countertop. That works too. This table here has a lift mechanism, and you push it down and it has a spring action almost, where you can raise or lower the level of your sewing machine parallel to the height of the table space that you want. Also, you can see there's some spaces to organize your notions and supplies, which is really cool. And I like this one. It may be pricey for some, but this is really a good addition to your sewing room. The next product I'm going to review is this Brother product. This, I'm going to be salty immediately. I do not like this. Why? Because my sewing experience with this is rickety and it makes a sound when I use it. And I do not care for an extra sound when I'm sewing. To me, this is not an asset. It's more of a liability because I find myself being bothered by the noise or the clink-clang noise when I'm sewing. Attaching this to this sewing machine here, it looks very nice from a visual standpoint. And in fact, it almost looks very inspiring. I can do anything. Try using a 15-pounder big wad of drapery fabric on this machine with the extension table on, and it's not fun. And the reason for that is the weight of the fabric overweighs the actual weight of the sewing machine, and it becomes a problem. Maybe one day you'll do it. It's only advantageous for certain projects, lightweight, not too big, fabrics that behave really nicely. In other words, as nice as it looks from the outside, you will find yourself considering and weighing the weight of the actual fabric compared to the power and the stability of the machine with the extension arm connected to it. Use the armhole cover and just work with what you have. The third product I'm going to review is a Singer. Now this is really nice. This is super steady and heavy and reliable, and it will not shift, and it's really good quality product too. I can feel it, I can touch it, and when you're sewing with this, it's very stable. The machine that it is attached to is a Singer commercial grade, and with these two combination, you're going to be productive with many variety of projects, small or big. That's the experience that I have. Now this is a really high-speed machine, but the extension can keep up with it because it's a stable extension. I've seen a Janome product that's a little bit smaller than this that you can also buy for your quilting needs if you need to go to a quilting retreat and you need a sewing extension table. This next machine I'm going to review is a Viking Husqvarna. This machine is one of the best machines out there, but I'm going to focus on the extension table. Initially, this machine came with a ton of accessories as a new purchase back in the old days, and it came with the extension table. The extension table is made of metal. It's really nice quality metal. This machine is very distinct. When I saw on it, The only thing that moves is just the needle, and that's an incredible accomplishment. When I use this with the extension table, nothing's changed. It's that efficient. My mind is blown away with how much thought was put into this product. It's really good, very stable, can keep up with the power of the machine. My next product is a table, it's Husqvarna table. Look at this. This is specific to the Viking Husqvarna 6000 series sewing machine. And this is what it looks like. This is the table sold specific to the sewing machine. Look how perfectly it fits. This is a hard to find table. Now, this particular table, you can prop it up. You can also use this as a desk, like a table, flat. And there's a mechanism on the back to do this. I learned something from this table. See, when I use this table with the chair that I'm using, my chin is about 15 inches above the top of the sewing machine. And my God, I feel so productive. Wow, there really is a science to how much productivity you can do when you're sitting correctly on a table with the right height, with the right angle, and with the right view of the entire project that you're sewing. There is such a thing as the best angle to look at your projects so you are more efficient. And that's the thing that this table taught me. This part of the video, I'm going to show you pictures of these machines that you may have seen in the past. Or sometimes the machine comes with stilts. And you may be wondering, what's that for? Those were designed of the sewing machine back in the old days with the future in mind. What do I mean by that? This stilts that you're looking at right now is intended for you to transfer this machine to a sewing table. Or should you not buy the appropriate sewing table, you are welcome to just use the platform on the bottom and use the entire thing as a tabletop sewing machine. So it's a two-in-one design. I'm raising awareness to this because this is really about designing a product to scale up. What if you move up? What if you buy a table for this sewing machine? You're ready to go. So this is about thinking of the future. So I know by looking at this, it looks very backwards. I hope you can appreciate how much thought that was put into the design of this sewing machine for one reason only: sewing space. What would be your sewing space upgrade in the future? Think about that. The next product that I'm going to review is this strange product. A friend of mine gave this to me. First time I got this, I realized this is broken. No, it's not broken. So what this is, they may have come up with a product in the past that is oddly shaped that will not also fit with a specific sewing table. So when they came up with this sewing machine extension to make it all happen. This is my theory on why this thing is very weird, because look how low it is. It will not sit properly to a typical height of a domestic sewing machine. So that's the only thing I can think of. This is an accessory to create your sewing space. Wrapping this up, if you're thinking about buying a sewing machine extension table, please bear in mind that if you're not sure about the size of it will fit, don't do it. You can consult to a local dealership to see if it's the right fit. You cannot just name drop, hey, I have a Singer. What extension table would fit on it? No, it doesn't work like that. Also, make sure you know the return policy just in case there's a problem. Second thing to know about shopping for extension table is it works mostly for top loading bobbins because you can easily take out the bobbin if you need to replace it again. If it's a front loading bobbin, you're gonna have a problem because you're gonna have extra steps to remove the extension table and also put it back. So extra steps. It's more of an inconvenient. Another thing that I need to point out is they're really nice if you are sewing big giant pieces like big quilts and big draperies. If you have a typical project like a dress or a clothing, you don't need these sewing machine extension tables. If you're a quilter and you do a lot of piecing and block quilting, this is actually also very nice because it will actually make you more efficient. Now, if you ask me, which one of these do I use all the time? My answer is none. I do not use them. I don't necessarily use them. And even the table, I don't necessarily use them. I just use them as a flat table, like a desktop. Same with the other koala cabinet sewing table that I have. It's just a table. Because I have a different setup, I just use them as tables. My biggest gripe to this is if I ever use them, as you can see in this picture, did you notice that I'm using another table to another table? It's big. I need the space to sew. So to me, if I use them, I'm not maximizing my sewing space at all because I need space to work also next to the sewing machine. So I end up not using them. Look, I need a table just for my extension table. So that's the reality of my situation. I hope you can relate to some of what I have said in this video, and I'll talk to you on my next one. Thank you for watching.